So I think the Scientist is the coolest knife they ever made, Victorinox. Because first off, the best layer ever is your inline Phillips and your magnifying glass. This Phillips is very good. It seems to fit everything. I think it's just a number 2, but it fits like everything. It feels natural. I never go grab a regular Phillips if I have this thing on me, which I usually do. Love it. And this, as far as like just enjoying life, this helps me enjoy life. I don't know why. I just like it. It's pretty cool. Makes you feel like a little kid. Plus, it's got a great name, The Scientist, right? And you got your big blade. And instead of the pen blade, you've got your combo tool, which is a bit of a compromise because it's thin. See how thin it is? It has to be to fit on your blade layer. I have another video complaining about this whole thing, but that's why this works. They had to make it thin. So it functions as flathead screwdriver. Some people say you can use it as a Phillips. If you put it in at an angle, yeah, you can. I've done it before on a compact, and you'll end up bending it because it's just not that strong. But it works in a pinch. And then you can do the little trick with the, you want to strip a wire, you put the wire in there, you drop the blade down, kind of spin it. It actually works pretty well. Again, if you're stripping wires, it's probably not something you're going to be doing often, but if you really needed to, it works pretty well. You got your corkscrew, obviously. Get your little mini screwdriver on there. Plus scales, which are awesome. Just because you got your pen, because you need a pen. And you can't do the trick that you can do with the compact, where you can flip it over and use the hook, and you put the pen in. Well, you can do that with an Explorer, though. This Explorer, because I don't have a compact on me. Put your pen in. See, pretty slick. Which brings me to, I think, the best compromise. If you can't get an Explorer, or pardon me, you can't get a Scientist, get an Explorer. Because you're going to get yourself the coolest layer ever, which is this. This is the newer version. It's not glass, but it's got a wider frame of view, and it works. And you've got your inline Phillips, which is sweet. Then you've got your big blade. You've got a small blade. You've got scissors, which a lot of people like. I don't really use them that much. You got your scissors. And you got your opener layer. Corkscrew. Your hook. Your awl. You can go get yourself plus scales too if you wanted to add the pen. So you're doubling your thickness, but you get the cool layer. You've got a lot of tools, and it's really useful. And this is like, I mean, you can get a used Explorer. You get the old ones, like 20, 30 bucks. They're awesome. So I think that's a good compromise. Now they make the compact, which is really cool, which is basically that top layer, which your combo tool, your big blade, but you don't get the cool layer because they throw scissors in, which for most people, they prefer that. It's nice, but I like the magnifying glass and that inline especially. So there's like the Yeoman, which has the scissors. It's a 3-layer, which is pretty sweet, but that's not available anymore. That one's hard to get, or it's expensive. And then there's the Passenger, which is basically an Explorer without the scissors, which is pretty nice too, because I don't think the scissors, I just don't use them that much. If I need scissors, I'm probably making like, I don't know, something that requires real size scissors. If it's something I just need to cut, I can just use a knife. So you could always take an Explorer and get rid of the scissors, and essentially you have a Passenger. Turn this thing into a 3-layer. But if you want to mess around with that, I think your best bet is just pick up an Explorer. It's affordable. Get an old one, they're pretty cool. Get a new one, whatever you want. And I think you're gonna be happy with it. And then the other option, if you want to start messing around, I was trying to build the perfect Explorer, which was obviously need that layer. Kept my blade layer, but instead of the scissors, I put these bad boys in because I think these are actually really useful. They're not great pliers, but they work for a lot of other things. And problem is though, I didn't really gain much. Went from a 4-layer to a 3 technically, but size-wise, it's almost the same. And then I ran into the issue of, okay, well, I don't have the opener layer, so what if I need a flathead screwdriver, which you pretty much never do, maybe for like a wall plate. But if you do, I went total hack job and did this. I added this guy on there, which was a stripped Phillips, obviously. So you can see right there, see that gap? As I was grinding this down, there was a space in between the metal, and that's probably why the thing stripped in the first place. And I didn't want to go further down because this thing's stubby enough. So it works. You know, that's kind of like my hack job interpretation. But it's, you know, you've got to mess around if you're into that stuff. So I think you just go with an Explorer, honestly. Or suck it up and just start looking for a Yeoman or the Passenger. But again, they're getting expensive. They're harder to find. You still got an Explorer. They're everywhere, and they're pretty nice. But again, my go-to one-time only knife would be this one. Love the Scientist. I just think it's sweet. So anyway, just some thoughts on those.